I would just like to thank our girls here. This is actually only half of our squad we had this year. We had about 30 girls come out and cheer for Shawnee Black between JV and varsity. So I just wanted to say thank you to the girls for putting in the hard work and coming to the games, especially when the weather was less than fun for them. And thank you to the parents for coming to the games and supporting the girls. It means a lot to a lot of them. So I don't really have a lot of things to say, but I think I only have. Can my sixth grader step forward, please? So I only have 3 sixth graders. Adeline's, she's not here. So these are my other 2 sixth graders. It's their last year before they head on to middle school. So if Emmy and Abby want to come up and grab your trophies, you can. Fifth graders. Oh wait, I only had 2 fifth graders and neither of them are here. So 4th graders. 4th grade was one of my biggest class. And we had a lot of returnees come in 4th grade. So we have Harper Ream, Bella, Aaliyah, Kaylee, and Naya. Third grade. My second largest class we have Alex, Adeline, Lily, and Sophia. Yeah, I couldn't see her face. This is our 3rd grade class. And then I think we have second graders. Yep. These are our 2nd graders, and we have Quinn, Ava, and Addison. And then our last 2 are in kindergarten and 1st grade, and that's Elena and Lily. No, Olivia. All right, thank you.
As being are you a cheer coach or what are you? As a cheer coach. She is my sister. She is not my wife. I got asked about 100 times this year, my wife, and that's not my wife. That's my sister. But we want to say thank you. That's with the flowers and that basket of stuff. We have the JV coaches and the 3rd grade football players come up to the stage, please. All right. So our 3rd grade, for a lot of you guys that don't know, the 5th and 4th grade, we have a combined of like 12 kids. Our 3rd grade this year, we started the year off with 16. So that's a great thing for the Shawnee community, seeing that the youth is coming back out. We do appreciate you parents, especially the 3rd grade parents, who get shaky and don't want to have them play football or kind of get scared of doing that. But we do appreciate you guys coming out here and letting your kids play with us. We are trying to teach them the proper way to do things to avoid the injuries and things like that. So that way as they move up, they keep learning different techniques, things like that. So we do appreciate you guys trusting us and allowing us to do it. First up, we have Beckett Reed, played fullback for us. Next, we have Logan Maynard. Logan is one of 9 Logan. Next, we have Jackson Numbers. Elijah. Dalen. Logan. Mason. And Logan again. 4th grade. Our 4th graders, we had 5 4th graders. Sorry, 6. I apologize.
St. Mary's, man.
It is. First 5th grader we have is Anthony. Knox. Robert. Xavier Jones. Cam. Ivan. Slide down here, guys. So, what a lot of I expressed earlier this year, especially with Jason, we've had conversations along with Rob. For the JV level, I'm not looking for the wins and losses. What I'm trying to do is instill these techniques and things that we want to teach them so that when we get to the 5th and 6th grade, that's when we want to start focusing actually on the competition itself. So the JV level, we do a lot of teaching, fundamental stuff, and we have to repeat that stuff every day, every week, because a lot of them forget our lefts and our rights, right? So as they grow up or get older, get into the upper grades, we're hoping that they eventually get into that and they take the techniques that we start here, we learn more, and as we get up, we keep learning all these things. So first up, we're going to have a JV MVP award. This is kind of decided between the coaches on both varsity and JV side. We have selected Beckett Reed to be the JV. The reason why we selected Beckett was that he didn't complain at all. I don't think he said one word the entire year. He played both running back and linebacker. We moved him around a lot to different spots on the field. He adapted very well, and he was kind of a good leader because he didn't get the ball as much, but he was never afraid to hit anybody. He was always hitting something or someone anytime he came up and tried to do a block. And then linebacker, he was doing very well as getting directions and things like that as well. Thank you, Beckett, for your hard work this year. We have the 5th graders and varsity coaches.
I'm gonna try and keep this painless and a little short. I get a little long-winded sometimes, so too loud. Is that better? Boom, boom, boom. So listen, this is our 5th grade class, so, obviously, we have 5 kids. right? So if you guys know any other kids, 5th and 6th grade level, we're looking to recruit some kids next year. So that's what we're going to have to do. I think we're going to have like 12 kids on the varsity team next year. So the playing time that the kids didn't get this year, they're going to get plenty of it next year because everybody's going to be going both ways. So real quick, so Luke has been with us since 3rd grade, right? 4th grade? 3rd grade. Yeah, 3rd grade. I started coaching for Shawnee Youth, I think 3rd grade, and Luke has always been the line before. He's always done a great job. We need to get a little bit stronger here next year. Hopefully all these boys hit about a 100-pound and 12-inch growth spurt. Help us out quite a bit next year. So congratulations, Luke. You did a great job this year, bud. JP, he's another kid that's been here for a while, I think since 2nd grade, right? Started playing in 2nd grade and the rules changed over. So one thing where JP kind of struggled this year was the size difference. So last year, he's one of the bigger kids on the team, bigger kids in the JV football. And then we get to varsity, we had, especially from Bath and Salina, we had kids that were 250, 300 pounds. That was a big move awakening for a lot of us, but handled himself well. You guys hear that?
Normally I'm the fat one.
JP's done a great job. We've got Cash Sherritt. Cash Sherritt's been with us since 3rd grade also. Cash is one of the kids in my neighborhood. We have a pretty good relationship. He needs to learn a little bit more about football, get a little bit more aggressive. But again, next year you're going to be going both ways, but so I hope you're ready. You ready? All right, Cash Sherritt, congratulations. Everybody knows Avon's my son. He's been a little upset this week. We didn't get his hair cut, so his hair's a little bit shorter this week. But so he wasn't too happy about that. He got in trouble at school this week because he wouldn't take his hood off. And kind of started a trend in the 5th grade class. All the kids are walking around with their hoods up. And we had to go to parent-teacher comments about that. So Avon's done a great job for us over the years. He had a big jump between last year and this year. Did a real good job. Next year there's going to be a lot on his shoulders, so hope you're ready, bud. Congratulations. We got Cove. As you guys can see, Cove's on crutches. So last regular season game, is that what it was? So after the back game? Okay, so right before the playoffs started, Cove took a hit in practice and kind of twisted his leg up a little bit. And at first, we didn't think it was so bad because he was talking about his knee, right? That's what we was. Well, it is your ankle, but I think at first we were concerned about his knee. We went and got it checked and found out he broke his ankle. So it was ended the season kind of rough, but Cove's been great for us. Looking for him to get a little bit more aggressive here the next couple of years because he has the size to do it. He just got to figure out what to do with it. So great job this year. Thank you so much. All the 6th graders up here.
So you can just bring them to me. I'm just trying to alleviate myself having to do it. No?
All right, so our 6th grade class here, I think we're actually missing a few people too. Actually a handful of us are missing, right? So I think we had 15 kids. Yeah, I think we're missing 2 or 3 kids. But anyway, this class, since I've been here, has been phenomenal. I'm sure you guys know, you guys got a great group of kids, man. We can go through here and all of them are great. All of them are easy to coach, except Lincoln Walker. He's kind of hard to coach. No, I'm just kidding. Lincoln was great this year, but great group of kids, man. We've been pretty fortunate, especially with this group, to have the kids that they have and have the talent they have at this level. And hopefully they're able to stick together at any sports they play. If these kids can stick together and grow up and come up through high school, I have no doubts that Shawnee's going to see some type of championship in some type of sport for these kids. So These guys have put in a lot of work this year. The first couple games of the year, we played bad teams, quite honest. We played Elida, and I think we played Walpole, and they were bad. Then we went in, we played Bath, and our biggest kid, which is Wyatt, I think Wyatt weighs 160 pounds, right? Yeah, so their biggest kid on Bath's football team was 328 pounds, so it was twice the size of our biggest kid. And I think their average line was about 220 pounds, so and that was the first game that we struggled. We weren't used to going against kids that big, and you could tell, even watching the film, that our kids were quite intimidated. So if you don't know anything about football, the defensive line, the first thing you're supposed to do is step forward. Well, if you look back at that tape, the first thing our kids did was step up and go backward before we even had contact. So, but no, we learned from that. So I think the best thing that happened to us was that loss to Salina. Mitch, Rob, and I, before the season even started, our biggest task for this group of kids was to keep them humble. They had the talent. Everybody knew they had the talent. We knew that, in the community, amongst the parents, it was super full of bus for us this year. And we knew that going into it. It's going to be a tough year keeping these kids humble, because when you have kids that are good and they know they're good, it's hard, especially at practice. Keeping them kind of entertained throughout the year, and we kind of struggled with that a little bit. But when we lost to Salina, we were able to hone in some stuff, right? So we changed up our offense. Changed up our defense quite a bit, made some positional changes, and from that point on, our team couldn't be stopped. We were dominant the last 5 games of the season, and it starts with everybody on here. Everybody did a great job this year. There was no selfish football players. We just did a phenomenal job with the kids, and the kids just they're like a sponge. If you point them in the right direction, you give them the right tools, and that's one of the big things of, hey, we give you the tools, you have to do it on the field, and that's what they were able to turn out this year. So I'll try to keep this as short as possible, but I can't go wrong with this anyway. So we got our 6th grade here, Nolan. Nolan played cornerback for us, did a little bit of safety for us. I think he played some receiver for us at the beginning of the year before we changed up our offense. Has done a great job for us this year. Congratulations, bud. So Landon did a lot of stuff for us this year too. So he was kind of like a tool of all trades on the line. So he always wanted to play running back. I don't know why. Always wanted to touch the ball, but we couldn't really quite give him that chance running the ball at a game. But I think he did that during practice a few times. But did a phenomenal job on the defensive line for us. He didn't like playing offensive line too much, didn't like playing tight end too much, but he did it for us just for the sacrifice of the team. And when we plugged him in at those positions, he did a great job. But where he excelled at was on the defensive line, and he made some major plays for us. If you guys watch the highlight tapes, have made some crucial plays for us down the line. So congratulations, thank you, guys. Braxton's another kid. He's a great kid to coach, easy to coach, doesn't complain. Does anything we ask him to do. So Braxton did a lot for us this year. He started off at linebacker, and after that Salina game, we made some changes, and in practice, man, he was kicking our butt on defense. So obviously we have a short, we don't have a lot of kids on the both sides of the ball, so we kind of do like a split offense and defense. So we had to put Braxton down at nose guard on scout team defense, and he was just destroying our offense. And that's when we put him down in nose guard. He was so dang fast getting off the line, and where's JP at, right? JP was getting super frustrated. I had to go pull Braxton to the side, like, hey, dude, you got to just stand up. You can't go anymore, man. Because he wouldn't allow us to get our offensive plays off. He was just destroying us. So that's when we moved him down to nose guard. And I'm sure you guys seen the difference that he made at nose guard for us. But another kid that you plug him and play him in any position. He just wanted to do good for the team and be there for the team. So congratulations, bud. All right, so we got Logan, Mr. Deion Sanders, is what I like calling him. So it might be a little bold for these guys up here, but Logan has a great attitude. One of the best attitudes I've seen out of any of the kids. The 3-4 years I've been doing it, always has a good attitude. Kind of cocky at times, but that's good. It's good to have that on the football field. He cleared some interceptions here the last few games, which was awesome. But he's one of the kids that you come in and it doesn't matter if you're having a bad day or not. If you see the smile on his face, he's like, "What's up, coach? How's it going, coach?" And he's like that every day, and he's done that for the last 3 years. So awesome job, keep it up. So Mason's one of our more quiet players. Does an excellent job for us. Played offensive guard for us. Did a phenomenal job for us all year. We plugged him in defense here and there. Mason had a nagging back injury for almost the whole year, right? And every time he'd come to practice, you could tell his back hurt. Like, "We tell your mom and dad, Jay?" He's like, "No, not yet." It'd be weeks into it, like, "Dude, you gotta say something to your mom and dad about your back." I don't know if he ever did or not. But he had a nagging injury for a while. He's a pretty tough kid, but. Another kid, he doesn't talk a lot, but he does lead on the field with his play. Did a great job for us here the last few years. Congratulations, bud. All right, Brandon's another quiet kid. So same thing. We plugged him on a lot of defensive positions. His main role was offensive guard. But we plug him in at linebacker, put him in at defensive line sometimes. But again, another kid that doesn't say a lot of stuff, but he leads with his play on the field. And I can say this about all the kids, but we don't have a lot of kids that complain. Like every once in a while, I hear some complaining, which is normal. But like from the day-to-day stuff that we go through, you don't hear a lot of it, And he's a quiet leader that's on the field. And wrestling season's come up. I just talked to his mom and dad about that, so they're excited about that. Wrestling's a long season. So, got to be committed, right? Are you ready? We're going to find out. Congratulations. So we got Brentley. During the changes throughout the year, we made about halfway through the year. So Brentley started as a wide receiver for us through the first half of the season. Then we went to a more run-heavy offense at the end of the year, so we put him on defense, what we did. And again, Brentley never complained, man. We had to change a lot of stuff for the betterment of the team, but he never complained one time. He did a great job during scout team defense and made us a lot better on the offensive side of the ball. We weren't using wide receivers, but he did a great job. I think we had him in there at cornerback. We had him in there at safety a few times, but cornerback and wide receivers we excelled at this year. Keep doing what you're doing. Hopefully you hit a growth spurt here the next couple of years, but you're going to 7th grade football. Congratulations. All right, so Carter was probably the most injured kid this year. He got hit in the ding-ding about 10 times this year. And, he came off, I think that one game, it was like 3 different times. He came off, he was crying, we thought he was really hurt. And finally he got hit below the belt, and it happened again, and then it happened again. It's like, man, we had to put him off to the side. But Carter excelled this year at defensive end. Easy kid to coach. And again, we can say that about all these kids up here on the stage, but easy kid to coach. You tell him what to do, and he does it. There's no complaining. There's no what if this, and he just does a great job. On offense, I think we had him at tight end a few times, so we had him out there. We had a tight end pass specifically for him. We called it the Carter play, and there for a while we were throwing this play to Jace, and once people started getting film on, we had to come out with something else. We had this Carter play, where we would fake the ball to Jace and then go back to Carter. Did you score a touchdown off of it this year? But after that first time he caught it, he wanted to do it more and more. So that was pretty neat to see him out there. And I'm sure you guys see him getting fired up. He just needs all control of his body when he gets fired up. You can see it on the floor. And it's exciting to see a kid at his age get fired up like he does, because it is awesome to see. So, hey, congratulations and keep doing what you're doing. We got Wyatt. I'm not sure if Wyatt remembers who I am. So I used to coach flag football for a couple of years, and he was on my team, and he was obviously one of the bigger kids on flag football. And again, it's flag football, right? So we're out there, and Wyatt's tackling these kids, right? And I went up to him multiple times, like, dude, you gotta stop tackling these kids. I had to take him out of the game and take him out off the field because he kept tackling these kids. So now we see why he was doing that. Wyatt does an awesome job for us. Offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball. He does not want to come off the field. Very polite kid, well-mannered kid. He likes the Browns, so that's a negative against him. But Wyatt does a great job for us. He doesn't, it's hard to get him upset, but the last couple of practices, JP did something to him. I don't know what JP did to him, but he was ticked off, man. And he just destroyed the offensive line the rest of the game, or the rest of the practice. So that's how we needed him. I went up to him, I said, whatever JP did to make you upset, I said, we need that in these playoffs, and that's what he did. Wyatt does an awesome job for us, very smart kid, and I have no doubts that anything he does in the future, he's going to succeed at. So thank you, bud. All right, Luke Bryan, so another kid, easy to coach, man. And he played defensive end for us. Go down with the boys. Defensive end, he played tackle for us. Linebacker at all? A little bit here and there. DN, I mean, he just, great defensive football player. Defensive end, that's his position. If you guys watch him play, that is his position. I wouldn't recommend him playing any other position besides that, because he has a knack for it, he has a knack for the ball, and he is great at that position. So, and again, Luke has been great the past 3 years. I think he played defensive end all 3 years, right? You wrestle too, right? Did you wrestle for Team Stomp? But anyway, no, Luke does a great job for us. Always has. I have no doubts that he's going to be great at wrestling this year and excel at 7th grade football. So congratulations, bud. All right, so Marion. So everybody knows who Key is, right? So one thing, I'll go and chat him a little bit. So Marion's our running back, fullback, quarterback, wide receiver, linebacker, whatever you want to put him at. He excels in everything, man. There's nothing that I can say that hasn't been said about this kid already. He's a phenomenal kid. I would love to take credit, we would love to take credit for what he does, but you can't. You cannot coach what this kid has. He does have mental lapses every once in a while by going to the wrong hole, you know what I mean? But like other than that, but he makes up for it by running 65 yards, you know what I mean? So it's just, you can't, I have no doubts that we could go to the Super Bowl this year, even if we didn't have Kamarion, but we could not have been as dominant and have done it in style the way he let us do it. I'm sure he gets praised all the time. Everybody knows who he is. Like even like outside of football, when I have friends over, go somewhere, like they're always asking who that number 23 is, who that number 23 is. And he is a special kid, and if he continues doing what he does, I have no doubts we're going to see him play on Saturdays for sure. So congratulations, great year. All right, so Jace, another phenomenal kid, man. This kid. So this year we had some good problems to have with all these kids up there, with all the talent that we had. My first, I was going to have Caden isn't here because he was going to move down to Texas, and there was a whole big thing about that. But Caden, or whatever it was, I had plans to put Caden in at quarterback, and we were going to run this option with P and Caden, and it was going to be fabulous. But then we found out that Caden wasn't going to play. But I knew we had Lincoln, and I'll get there. So anyway, so Jace probably came in thinking he was going to play fullbacks and running back, but he has so much potential doing so many different things, and we put him at a different position because he was a tool that we could use at multiple positions instead of just running back or fullback. So as you guys seen this year, Jace was at tight end, which helped us out tremendously. He's one of the bigger kids, so we had to put him in there on the line, block too. He played quarterback for us multiple times. He played running back for us, defensive end, linebacker, nose tackle. I mean, everything on defense. And not one day did I ever hear Jace complain. Jace, he is a football player, man. He comes to play. He don't care what position he's playing in. He just wants to be a good player for the team. And, I couldn't ask for a better football player because he does everything right without complaining about it. So congratulations. Thank you. Who we call Sunshine right here, Lincoln Walker. So Lincoln, come down, boys. We got one more here. So Lincoln did a great job for us. We wasn't too for sure where we was going to put him at, but once we knew we weren't going to have a quarterback, that's what Lincoln was going to do. So he wanted to play defense. We really didn't let him do that. Just we didn't want him getting hurt from one play. Oh, and he got rocked. He got rocked. I remember that. Lincoln did a great job for us this year. As you guys probably seen, the last couple games, probably the last 2-3 games, he excelled, especially that Super Bowl game. And that was, I would say the Super Bowl game was probably his best game that he had all year. You agree? Yeah, did awesome. So Lincoln, as a quarterback, and I don't know if he's going to play quarterback going forward, I would recommend receiver because he's fast, he can catch, he don't like getting hit, so he would play well at wide receiver, right? So. Excellent job for us, man. But as a quarterback, you have a short memory. And Lincoln at first didn't have that. He'd get so down and stuff. He missed the first pass, whatever the case was. But as we've grown into the year, he got better at that. I wish we could have got him that throw in that Super Bowl game, that pass. It was that all week long. We called it the coach play, and we almost had it. But it was an awesome year for Lincoln. He definitely excelled throughout the year. So congratulations, bud. We appreciate it. So we have, just line up. Hey, so we got our MVP award. Listen, we could probably vote on this 100 times, and everybody already knows who it is, right? So we talked about this, and Camarion's our MVP for this year. And we can speak on his accolades and his stats all year long, but this year with Camarion, one thing that we kind of posed to him was, being a leader on the football field, being a leader at practice, not just throughout his, through his play, but his play was great, but actually being a vocal leader on the football field. And the last couple, when the playoffs started, we seen a different team. Camarion took, we would get out on the field. Camarion already had these kids stretching, he would get them fired up, and us coaching, you guys probably seen it, we just kind of stayed away from them. And that's one thing we try to build up to all year long, was like, hey, this is in 6th grade, this is your guys' football team. You guys should come in here and motivate yourselves. Because when it comes from your coach, or it comes from a boss, it's just your boss, or being a butthead, or being an a-hole, whatever it is. But when you have your co-workers or your teammates holding you accountable, it's a whole different ball game. So that's what we were able to do and accomplish at the end of the year, and Camarion took charge of that. So if you guys seen how fired up these kids were at that first playoff game, I knew we were going to win as soon as we started stretching. Camarion had these kids fired up, man. So that's what being a leader is about, right? It's about taking the people that's beside you and propping them up and getting them going. And Camarion did a great job of that the last half of the year. So congratulations, bud. You deserve that.
All right, so the final 2 awards we have here is the Indian Award. So for those of you who don't know what the Indian Award is, it is an award that we give for selflessness. Somebody who doesn't complain, does what's asked. It's not always the best player on the team, and we try to make this award for the person who's not the best player, like Kier, Lincoln, or people like that. We want somebody who's just kind of selfless, does whatever we ask, things like that. So for the JV side, we have Donnie Makeley. Donnie is not here today, so Coach Rob's going to give that to him. For the varsity side,
so this was tough, man. So we had so many kids that are deserving of this award, and once I said the name, there was no arguments. There was nothing that was opposed to this. And again, we could have gave it to any of the 15 kids on this team, and I think we would have been okay with it. But there was a few names that stood out, and there was one name that definitely stood out, and we feel pretty good about it. So, and I think all the teammates will feel pretty good about it. Braxton, where you at? Did a phenomenal job all year long for us, and he is, congratulations, bud, as tough as nails, right? So he broke something in his shoulder. Huh? No, come here. What'd you do to your shoulder?
I dislocated half of it and broke my cohort process.
So he was not able to play in the Super Bowl, and I know it was tough for Mom, probably tough for him, but he came being a good teammate. You see a lot throughout especially at the younger level. You don't see injured kids come to games, come to practice. Well, I get it. I don't nobody wants to beat anybody up, but when he came out there, we told him hey, you can still have an impact on this football team from the sideline. I said, I need your help. I said, you're a coach today. That's what I need you to do. And he was able to do that for us, and he earned this award. Not just this year, but the last 3 years, he's been a phenomenal football player for us. And you keep doing what you do, but congratulations.
Next, all of us coaches want to thank Anna. All the hard work she did, filming. If your child has not gotten their flash drive yet, please see her. She made every single one for each of the kids. It's got the film, all that stuff that we just watched, and things like that on it. So please have to see that. Between at least the three of us that I know of,
Do you know what?
we've watched probably hundreds of hours of film that she's taken for us throughout the years. Watching last year's, this year's stuff, critiquing ourselves, fixing things. I think the week after the Salina loss, we probably watched the most of the film I've watched since playing college football. Just trying to fix it, trying to make the changes that we did. And that film did help us, so thank you very much.
No, you're welcome.
And then final thank yous is I want to thank all you parents. Bringing your kids out to practice, bringing them to the games, putting up with us coaches. I do appreciate everything that you guys have done to help support your child in playing the football.